Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another Warframe Showcase video. Today we're going to be going over Excalibur. I'm particularly using Excalibur Umbra. I don't have base Excalibur, but they are the same concept. Excalibur Umbra just has a couple of stat changes, and his second changes from a Radio Blind to Radio Howl, but they are basically the same thing. I'm excited for this one because Excalibur was my starter frame. Um, for me personally, when I was playing Warframe and I was doing the game, Um, by the time I got to like Saturn, I had felt like I had already mastered him because I had used him so much. Um, and yeah, we're gonna be going over his abilities. We're gonna go over the loadouts, not the loadouts. We're gonna go over his abilities. We're gonna show how to mod him as a new slash intermediate player. I do have my late game build, which I will show off too. And just to give you a quick disclaimer, due to the polarities that are in Excalibur Umbra, I won't have a complete mod setup, but I know just how I'm going to show it off to you. And I am also going to experiment with gameplay at the end of the showcase. So I'm going to timestamp the showcase and when it ends right about now. I'm going to leave it up for a few seconds. That way you know when to click off. If you're just here for the showcase, if you want to see more like live gameplay, see the synergies and my loadouts and how they're going to play generally, you can stick around for an extra 10-15 minutes maybe, if you're down for that. Hopefully it's nothing that crazy. Now I am going to do an exterminate for this one, but future reference, depending on where I feel I can demonstrate the Warframe's abilities better, it could be any mode, so just give you a heads up on that. And yeah, let's get right to the showcase. So go starting off with a passive. I am not gonna talk about Excalibur's passive, Umbra's passive, because it's spoilerish. Umbra, you get him naturally through playing the game. He is part of a quest, particularly the sacrifice quest. So there's a lot of stuff there that I'm not gonna get into because spoilers. Um, Base Excalibur's passive. Essentially, what he does is with swords, he deals 10% more damage and he attacks 10% faster with swords. So just keep that in mind. And before we get into the showcase, I want you all to see that I don't have anything on here for mods on his blade nor on him. So yeah, let's get right to it. So uh, abilities. Passive, I'm not gonna go into it. Um, Spoilerish. There could be something added to it, but I don't want to like peek and spoil it. Anyways, going over your first ability slash dash, what essentially Excalibur does is he slides forward with his exhausted blade out, and he'll slash enemies. Enemies that he hits are gonna take massive amounts of slash damage and will get knocked down. Really good ability. He can chain enemies within, what is it, like 7 meters, and this is what it's gonna look like. Oh, hey, 7 meters. Fuck yeah. Okay, so I'll show that off here in a bit. Going over his second ability, this is different with Umbra and Base Excalibur. Base Excalibur comes with Radio Blind. Umbra comes with Radio Howl. Essentially the same thing. What happens is Excalibur will either lift up his sword for Base Excalibur and he'll make it pulse or something. He'll channel energy to it or something and make it blind people around him within a certain range. And his Radio Howl, what he will do is he will howl, blinding enemies around him, open him up to finishers, and if you're going up against sentients, he will reset their resistances. So just that's what the ability does. This is what Radio Howl looks like. I will show off what a blind looks like later on. Going over his Radio Javelin. This is a really fun ability if you're starting out. You can use it to nuke, granted line of sight checks and stuff. But as you get higher in missions, you're not gonna want it's not gonna be as reliable for nuking. So when you're barely starting out, abuse it when you can. But when you're not, once you get like maybe past Saturn, maybe, because that's when I started noticing it really fell. Um, you're gonna want to get either an augment, the one that I personally use, Furious Javelin. which what it does is the amount of enemies you hit will increase the amount of melee damage you deal with either your exalted blade or your weapons, your melee weapons. And this is what it's gonna look like, by the way. You're just gonna plant the sword in, release javelins, and there's that. Going over his exalted blade, which is his bread and butter, and it's probably like the best part of his kit. Even into like high level missions, gonna be really good, especially with the like the recent exalted rework, if you want to call it, the exalted changes. He is really strong. Um, Essentially what he does is he pulls out his exalted blade, as you can see behind him right there, and he will swipe slash in front of him, I think, or swipe or whatever, and he will send forth energy waves. Back then, before the Tekrot Encore update, he would not get combo from that, so you'd have to hit enemies close. Like you have to hit enemy with the actual blade to start dealing more damage. With the update now, his energy waves they get combo for like the combo counter. So I keep that in mind, and here is what it looks like. Now this does use also a stance, so you have your standing combo, you have your blocking combo, you have your blocking forward combo, and you have your forward combo. So we're gonna go over all that when we can here in a bit. Right now I just want to demonstrate the abilities with nothing on. We're going to keep instead of going down to level 30, we will go keep them at level 60 so you can see the damage, and I can probably show you like how it's benefited. So assimilate these enemies. Let me just double check that I don't have anything on here. No? Okay, we are good. So this is basic Excalibur, level 30, going slash dash. Like I said, it is going to chain to enemies, so if you get kind of woozy or it might be too much for you, you might want to look away, but if you can handle it, here you go. So he chains to enemies within a certain meters. It feels really cool when you do it. Because this is like level 60 enemies, is not dealing a lot of damage, but that's what's up. I'm gonna do it one more time so you can kind of just look at the damage. I'm seeing 365, 164. That was a crit. 121 damage. So just keep those numbers in mind. 42. Okay. Showing off the radio how from here at the center. So just double check you are the center point. There you are. So I'm gonna do it on top of this guy. Can I get on top of him? No, I can't. So from here, I'm gonna use my second, which it does change into a radio, which is base Excalibur, radio blind, Excalibur Umbra, radio how. Same thing. Obviously with their blind, they're opened up to finishers. You can mod this with duration, how long they're stunned. I don't know where I get strength. And then showing off the javelin, which, like I said, at higher levels is not going to become reliable. So yeah, look at the damage numbers: 350, 350, 350. Let the effect wear off and I'll show you the damage numbers again. Oh, I need to get more energy. 350, 350, 350, 700 right here. And then I'm gonna finish these guys so I can show you the exhausted blade.
Matters.
Spawn enemies. I don't mean to go there. Here is the exalted blade. Here is the standing combo. Okay. Here is the blocking combo. all he does. Get wrecked. Here is the forward combo as you're moving. Here is the heavy attack, which does both a vertical and a horizontal thing. I don't know why he's floating. But yeah, there's that. What else? I think that covers up the, oh, so little quick tip. Just going for me, this is what I know with Excalibur.
Unpleasant thought.
Exalted Blade amps up the damage from your slash dash. So if you have your Exalted Blade out and you are and you want to hit a slash dash, do it. I think you might also send forth energy with it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it does, but yeah, it definitely increases the damage. And if you do a spin attack, you will go into a radio blind, this is how radio blind looks on Excalibur. That's what he does. It doesn't open them up to finishers, and it costs half as much, but yeah. Now I'm going to not. No, it's fine. Yeah, no, I will. I'm gonna like just destroy these guys real quick. Oh my god. Okay, so these guys are gone. Going off to the build part of the video. By the way, it's not going to be a complete build because of the polarities and all that stuff and how that works. But I will say in every video, if I use a certain mod, like a set mod, you can usually find those in Deimos, Fortuna, and Cetus. If I use a corrupted mod, you can farm them in the corrupted Deimos vaults, but you will need a corrupted hollow key. I think that's what they're called. You're going to want to go to your clan dojo for that. And we are also going to talk about, what else? Yeah, prime mods. If you don't have a prime mod, keep an eye out for Barrow. He comes out every Friday. And he's on a 2-week cooldown, so I think he just came like last week, so it should be coming up this week, I think. He always has prime mods, so just keep that in mind. And if I bump into any of the mods that I have that I am not aware are like farmable, I'll let you know. But yeah, let's get into the build portion of this. And always, my build videos, so the build portion of this video isn't for, it's not meta, it's not what you want to run or whatever. It's, if you feel like you need to experiment with it, you can. It's just to give you an idea of how you want to approach modding this Warframe, or any Warframe in general, right? But yeah, that pretty much sums up what I have to talk about regarding the modding area. So yeah, as a new player, how would I approach modding Excalibur? And we're also gonna mod his Exalted Blade. So for me, since am gonna be using a lot of my melee, I'm gonna want to go with Steel Charged. This increases melee damage. If you don't have aura mods, by the way, and I forgot to mention this, you can look them up at Nora's Nightwave. Look for the credit offerings, and she'll have some aura mods. She'll have some augments. So just keep an eye. She always has some stuff for you to buy. So yeah, gonna go with Steel Charge here, and I am going to go with Prime Flow, or just Flow in general, for energy. You don't need to run duration on Excalibur. The only thing duration is good for is how long enemies stay stunned. I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna put on Intensify for some strength. And then I'm gonna go for some survivability stuff. So I'm gonna throw on a Mars Hatred, which I'm not 100% if you can get this on Deimos, or if you get this as an, what is it? From a Narmon bounty. Narmon? Narmer? Narmer. Um, so this one it's interchangeable. You can do whatever you want with it. What I'm going for here is I'm going for range and strength. Um, let's see what else. So we want to go with more strength. So I'm gonna throw in some transient fortitude, which is one of those corrupted mods that you can farm. And then I'm gonna want to start. So for survival stuff, because these are gonna allow me to fully complete the build. You're gonna want to throw on either a vigor if you have it, or you can throw on some vitality or redirection, whatever you want to run. I would just run with vigor because it's a little bit of both. And with Amar's hatred providing armor, you cover most of your stats. So we're just gonna leave out the survivability stuff for now, and we are going to go to range. So for range, I'm gonna slap on stretch. Where is it at? Stretch, and we're gonna go with what is it? Augur reach. I'm gonna go with some augur reach, and like I said, this is gonna allow me to finish it. What can I? I'll throw on this some augur. Yeah, I'll throw augur secrets on there, but um, that's ideally what you're gonna want to run. Granted, you know, survivability stuff if you have that covered. Um, normally, my thoughts on survivability, real quick. Um, when I first started coming up in Warframe, not coming up like you know, like when I started like getting into higher levels, you don't think much of survivability because your Warframe is pretty strong on its own. So you want to mod for like all your abilities. But as you get into higher missions, enemies start dealing more damage. So you're gonna want to keep some survivability in mind. That's why mods like Amar's Hatred and Vigor like also kind of good. There are some other stuff that is good too, but um, for beginner and intermediate players, you can run something like this as well. What I would change would be this. Um, Obviously, this is another thing you can do if you have it. If you don't have this, you can swap it out for something else. Whatever works best for you, but this is generally what I would be looking to mod for as a new or intermediate player. Okay, now modding on his Excalibur, his Exalted Blade. So looking at the stats real quick here, it is a slash heavy weapon, and it is an even split between crit and status. So what does that mean is we can go for a hybrid build. So I'm gonna throw on some pressure point for the damage. I am gonna throw on some gladiator might, some organ shatter for the crit damage. Throw on some, where is it at? Some true steel for the crit chance. Once again, it is a slash heavy weapon. So I am going to throw on some viral. Viral is really good because it, if I'm not mistaken, it makes the enemies more susceptible to damage or deals more damage to health. It's changed a lot recently, and I haven't kept up with this. If you want, I can just show you what Viral does here. Yeah, it increases damage to health. So, yeah. And then, once again, because this isn't going to let me completely finish the build, since we have split even over here on the status and crit chance, what I am going to do here is I'm gonna throw on, where is this mod? Throw on this mod, Canis Mandible, because what you want to do ideally, if you want to proc more, if you want your viral to deal more damage, you're gonna want to have your slash deal more damage than the viral. So I'm gonna throw this on there, and it's just enough to get the slash up there. The slash will deal more damage to the health with the viral procs, if I'm not mistaken. And as far as this last one goes, so I have this mod. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, I have Blood Rush, which will go up, which will make crit chance go up with combo multiplier. I'm not sure if you get these from Steel Path. If you don't have this, don't worry about it. Another thing you can run, um, melee elementalists. This could be another mod that you might not get to like later on in the game. I'm not 100% sure. But this has been a really good mod. Really good mod. Um, what else could a new player use? Give me a sec. Sorry, I had to yawn. What else could a new player use? Can go with weeping wounds if you want to go heavy on the status. Um, I just throw on some heat. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. So that's what I'm running. These mods you can farm through nightmare missions. Now, why would I want to go for this? The heat would be good for armor stripping, and the viral just more damage to health. So that's kind of an idea of what you're on the run. You do have things like chromatic blade that will affect how it plays out. So just keep that in mind. And do we have Umbra modded? We do have modded. Okay, so we're gonna show off the abilities real quick. I don't know why I said it like that. I feel like I sounded Russian for a second. Anyways, simulating the enemies. Okay, here we are. Starting off with slash dash. You can see we're dealing a lot more damage. Do it again. I just talked to him and that was him. Knock these guys out.
Moving on.
That was slash dash. You can enhance his damage by using it with your exalted blade out. I want to show it off, but I don't want to make this take longer than what it already is. Radio house / radio blind from the center point over here. You hit everybody. Like I said, it opens them up to finishers. Front and back. Which I personally love looking finishers. Freaking funny. Some are just really gruesome. Okay, showing off the javelin. Let me see what's the center point now. I guess we're here. That's what that does. Like I said, it's super reliable, low level, not really much high level. And then showing off his exalted blade. Here is the stunning combo. Okay, here is a blocking combo. We'll go flying. Here is the running combo moving forward. And then here is the heavy attacks, which he does both vertical and horizontal energy waves. I am going to spawn them in to show you again, because these guys died too fast. Okay, so standing. Okay, here is blocking. Here is the blocking moving forward.
Stay down. There's a lot.
And then here is... Did I show off the blocking? Yeah. You can hit enemies through walls with it, by the way. I'm gonna show it up right here. Let me just finish these guys. You can enhance the damage of Exalted Blade with slash dash with Exalted Blade. So that pretty much covers that. I think I missed something. I'm not entirely sure. If you do remember the damage numbers from Javelin from back then, here is once again just to show out the damage real quick on the Javelin. Yeah, so we're not where we were proccing was it 350. Now we're proccing 767. People are taking more damage overall. And nearly killed them, to be honest. Did knock out some of them. So initial impact will deal more damage, then it'll proc as we get lower, as the thing lasts. Sorry, I'm forgetting how to speak. How long that works. Anyways, going over my builds, which late game build. This is what I like to run. You can experiment with it however you want, whatever works for you. I'm not trying to tell you what to run. It's just to give you an idea. It's just to guide you into how you want to approach modding certain warframes and weapons and stuff. Mainly warframes. I don't really care. Oh, you're kidding me. No! Oh, no, it's my machine gun. Never mind. Oh, I almost had a heart attack. Jesus. Okay, yeah. Oh, I would have gotten so mad. Okay, so from here, what I am going to be running with, I throw on some Umbra mods. I throw all of them on because Umbra benefits from him and he comes with these mods already. I don't think he comes with a. Do they come? I don't remember, but yeah, that's what he comes with. I don't know if I had to formal for his polarities or if it comes with them. It's been a while since I've had him, but yeah. And I'm using Furious Javelin, which increases melee damage while enemies are within a certain area. Whatever, like however enemies your Javelin hits, it's how much damage you're gonna deal with your melee. And pretty much similar to what I ran earlier, just with the Umbra mods. And as far as my Exalted Blade goes, this is what I'm running with. I got everything that I had almost. I just run some melee Elementalist. I do this. I threw this on because I do want to deal more damage with like slash and stuff. But since it is more, well, because of these sacrificial mods, which are like Umbra mods, it is a crit based weapon. So if I wanted to increase it more, I could go with this. No, this. And if you don't, but since I want to also make use of the statuses that I'm proccing, I do want to use melee elementalist. This is why I'm sticking with this. And yeah, I'm gonna show off how his abilities stack. Keep in mind these are level 60 enemies, and this is like late game ish. There's not meta. I don't go for meta. It's just late game. It's what works for me. So go slash dash.
Good night.
That was that. And show off the radio blind. I'm not gonna go for executions in this one for finishers, but you already know I can do that. You hit everyone. Once again, you don't need duration with Excalibur. That's why I didn't throw on a lot of duration. Here is the Javelin. I will show off the melee damage with the augment, so I'm gonna use this guy as an example. I'm gonna hit him once. 24,000 with a crit. Let me hit him again. 39,000. Another one. 71,000, 10,000. Okay, yeah. So that's what's up. Oh my god, that's my arcane. That's also increasing melee damage. And then combine that with this 843, and I'm dealing massive amounts of melee damage with Fierce Javelin, which is something I really love. Ever since I destroyed this augment, I've been like in love with Excalibur and melee weapons. And it just to showcase again, the buff will go up. Like right now, it was at 109, so I'm gonna hit it again. I'm gonna hit everyone that's there. Remember 109, right? 733% damage. So if you're in a good crowd, you can really mess people up.
Cheerio.
And the arcane that I'm running also is buffing my damage, which I am running Arcane Fury, which I forgot to talk about, which essentially crits will have a chance to increase my melee damage by 180%, which is what that's on the top right. So I showed off the Javelin, I showed off how it benefits my melee, now to show off my Exalted Blade. Keep in mind I am going to be doing gameplay demonstration after the showcase. I'm going to timestamp when the showcase ends. So yeah, here is Exalted Blade. Flash that. There is benefit. Oh, you do launch energy. Energy waves when you hit enemies. There's that. And then let the buff run out. Okay, standing combo, blocking combo, blocking forward combo, moving forward combo, and then this is the heavy attack, which I think is something they must have done because I don't remember that being a thing for him. And yeah, that's going to conclude this portion of the video. After this, if you made it this far, if you just want to watch the showcase, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the showcase. Let me know what you think of Excalibur. Was he your starter Warframe? We are going to start with the live gameplay demonstration here in a bit. Let me know what you think of Excalibur. Let me know if you like this. I am definitely looking for feedback. If you're going to stay tuned for the live gameplay, let me know what you think. If you think the video was too long or whatever, I am looking to see what's up. I do want this to be a thing going forward with future Warframes. And so you can get an idea of like synergies and how he's going to play realistically, not in a controlled environment. And yeah, with that being said, I am going to start the demonstration in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, welcome to the demonstration. We are here on Pluto, taking we're doing an exterminate and taking on the Corpus. Show you what's up and how his abilities play out and how you generally gonna want to play him. Oh god, I forgot to mod my primary. So I'm gonna be using my pistol. Damn.
Hostile contact. Engaging.
So a little bit of if you didn't notice, you can blind cameras. I hate that I have to remod my AX50. Can I still do something with it here? Let me see. Kind of. Yeah, I mean, I just like to use slash dash a lot just to take out multiple groups of enemies. There's a lot of enemies right now. I don't have energy for my Javelin, which I was hoping to use. Javelin is good for if you have like a lot of enemies in one area. Like if you're surrounded, you're gonna want to use Javelin, kind of like to defend yourself. Or if you're like in a mode of defense, or if you are if you're in a mobile defense, or if you're like in a defense and the point is surrounded and you're taking a lot of damage, you can, for the most part, use it to clear the point. I know it's live. I forgot to mod my freaking primary. It's fine.
Scratch one.
Let's see if I can gather up some energy.
Wise Parvos, The low thief shall never know the cool caress of your crowns.
I will make a rule of not to go below level 30 for demonstrations, even if the Warframe is not good.
Cheerio.
And I'm just gathering energy. We are halfway done with this.
We appear to have angered the locals.
Waiting for a good crowd to get my javelin on, to be honest.
Target is down.
Well, I was gonna say I didn't do anything, but I
Who
guess
wants some?
why are they also spawning around here? Reload. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Takes care of that.
I'm probably gonna die in this.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
I just need to not die in my demonstration. That'll be good. For those of you wondering, I do play on PS5.
Leave it out.
Why my movements are weird. So I can't like be as precise as I know I can be with the Exalted Blade. I survived. We're good.
Another job.
Anyway, so that's going to conclude this portion of the live demonstration. Generally, how you're going to want to play Excalibur, I just tend to spam. I don't spam it all the time, but due to the current circumstances and I have my primary like modded out, you're generally going to want to lay on slash dash to get some quick kills if enemies are clumped up together. Javelin if you're surrounded. Exalted Blade, you can use it if you just want to go ham as part of his kit. And yeah, with that being said, let me know what you think about this. I know the video is going to be longer, so definitely welcoming some feedback. And I will catch you all next week when we're going to be going over Frosts. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and if you made it this far, definitely consider subscribing because you're definitely interested and you're entertained to an extent. So sub for more. I cover a variety of games. Warframe is one of them. Battlefield, COD, um, whatever you like playing. I am looking to get this channel to 100 subscribers. Right now we're at 53, which I am super excited about. But yeah, with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. I will catch you all next week. This is AG Gaming signing off. Peace.